I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is Simmons Gap, mile marker 73. Up there is Skyline Drive, and I just came down off Skyline Drive here to this little parking area. Got one other person here with me. Yep, there it is, my little red car. And I'm going to close up my car and head back up this way and cross over Skyline Drive and pick up the Appalachian Trail northbound and start climbing this mountain over here. And when we get up near the summit, I may jump off and do a little bushwhacking looking for an old homestead. The elevation here in the gap is 2250. Okay, there's the AT trailhead marker. Here's Skyline Drive. There's my car parked down over there. And that's the rest of the Appalachian Trail on the other side of the road. Southbound, we're going to go this way, northbound, and start climbing the mountain. I'm just starting to climb the mountain here on the Appalachian Trail, but I thought I'd do a quick 360 here. It's a tremendous amount of blown down trees, pulled down branches. This section of the park was closed for quite a while due to snow and ice damage. That's Skyline Drive down there. But there's just an awful lot of blown down stuff around here. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm up to 2425. That's the Appalachian Trail where I just came from. And down here, I'll explain this on the map talk, but down here is the old road coming up from Simmons Gap and heading to the east. Here's the old road down there. And the old road continues on to the east that way. I may explore that sometime over to the park boundary, but for now this is where the Appalachian Trail, instead of heading to the east, it makes a switch back up this way, and we're gonna turn and head towards the northwest and start climbing the mountain more steeply now up this way. .2 miles into my hike, I'm up to 2760, and that's where I came from. And I am going to jump off. That's the way I'm headed. Hold on, let me look at my map here for a minute. So I'm currently at point H on my map. Point H, and I'm going to hang a left. Depending on the hiking conditions, I'm going to head over this way to point G, which is where one of the old homesteads used to be. I'm going to take a look over this way and see if it looks like it's hikeable. If it is, I'll go over and look. If not, I'll come back and just keep climbing the mountain up to the summit. .4 miles into my hike. I've been bushwhacking for a while now, and I'm approximately at the point, I think it's G on my map, where one of the old homesteads was supposed to be. Hold on, let me pull it out here. I got a lot of points on my map this time, so it's hard for me to keep them all straight in my mind. I am approximately at point. Yeah, I'm approximately at point G, and I got here by a couple of different ways, hiking a compass bearing, and then from time to time I could actually see a little dim trail. So other people have been over here. Anyway, I'm within about 100 feet of where the old, like, 1930s map said there was a dwelling. That's a pile of rocks there. There's a pile of rocks over here. There's a pile of rocks right there. And up this way, I thought I saw something just a little higher up here. I thought I saw something a little shiny, so I'm going to go up there and see if that's anything. But other than that, I don't really see much. You can tell that this area used to be clear though, because none of the trees here are all that big, and also these rock piles, and also there's a lot of underbrush, including thorny bushes and stuff. So it's kind of nasty hiking over here. But I'm going to go up here and see if I can. Something caught my eye up there just a little ways. Let me go up there and see what that is. Okay, well, I think that shiny object I saw down a little further down there was the sun glaring off this tree laying here. Because now that I'm up here, this is the only thing I see. There's another pile of rocks up there. I'll go look at that. But then after that, well, let me show you this. That's where I came from. And look down there. You can almost, look how far you can see. Straight ahead. I mean, that almost looks like there used to be an old road or a driveway. And it's really cleared out here, look. Look how cleared out it is here. So, the old map said this is where a dwelling was, and it looks to me like it's a pretty good spot. I got to study the map and decide whether I think it's easier for me to go back that way, where I came from, or maybe try and climb the mountain this way and intersect the AT up here. I get my maps out and try and figure that out. .5 miles into my hike, I'm back up on the AT. That's the way I'm headed, along the AT. And I bushwhacked my way back from over in that direction. So there's I wandered around for a while on a compass bearing, but every once in a while you can pick up a little bit of a trail where you can tell people have been back in there before. So anyway, here I am on the AT, and this is heading up towards the summit. That's my next stop. .7 miles into my hike. I'm up to 2890. Still climbing the mountain. And the Appalachian Trail is just over there, just a short distance. I stepped off the trail because down here I can see a house right there. Maybe you can see it there. But it turns out that's outside the park. Here's the boundary sign. It's all washed out, but it says U.S. Boundary, National Park Service. And there's red blazing. And there's even some, maybe you can see the barbed wire that's been torn down over the years. And right there's a metal survey stake sticking up out of the ground. So this is the edge of the park right here. So I'm going to head back up here, get back on the AT, and keep climbing the mountain. I got to get up a little over 3,000 feet yet. .9 miles into my hike, I'm up to 3,010 feet, and I'm on the summit. And let me look at my map here. This is point B on my map. There's where I came from. That's the way I'll be heading back. But I'm going to continue on this way for a tenth of a mile more and see if I can find another old abandoned road. So I'm going to go down this way and look for the abandoned road for a minute and then come back up here to the summit. Two miles into my hike, down at 2970. And what do you know? Look at this. Maybe you can see that heading off in that direction. So I'm going to wander down this way just a little ways and see if it could be pretty bad hiking. That bushwhacking I did back there looking for that homestead, that was nasty with thorny bushes and stuff. So I'll go down here a little ways so it'll show up on my GPS track though. Now that's kind of interesting. I'm walking down the old trail a little ways and it's actually got blue blazing on it. So that means the Park Service came down through here once upon a time and blazed it blue. Blue means foot traffic, no horses. I'll go down a little further. I can hear people now. So I know I'm getting close to the park boundary. Okay, well I still see some more blue blazing right there, but I think I'm going to stop right here because look, there's somebody's house right there, so I've got to be real close to the edge of the park. So I think I'm just going to turn around and head on back up towards the summit up this way. Okay, I'm back to the summit. There's the AT heading southbound the way I'm going to go back. And look at that. I put up my day hammock. I'm going to go over there and I think I'm going to take my boots off and relax and eat an energy bar and drink some water. Well, here I am, relaxing in my hammock. Look, I took my dogs off, give them a rest. Whew! Over there in that tree, I got my pack and my couple of different sacks, bottle of water, that windbreaker. It was kind of cold this morning. Over there's my trekking poles. High-tech carbon fiber trekking poles. They're light as a feather. And this is the ENO single nest hammock. And a little note for Wilkie. This is the hammock I got with that Cabela's gift card you gave me a while back. So thank you. I'm enjoying it up here at 3,000 feet on top of the mountain. It's a beautiful day today. Look how blue the sky is. It's incredible. Light breeze. I don't know what the temperature is because I broke my thermometer a while back. I need to get another one. Maybe I get a digital one this time. Oh man, this is nice. Well, I'm going to sign off. Oh, yeah, one more thing I brought with me. Boy Scouts code. We'll see if I can find it. Boy Scouts code. Be prepared. .8 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2760, heading back down towards Simmons Gap, back where my car is. And I stepped off the trail. I'm in the vicinity of where one of the old roads used to be, and I stepped off the trail here just because it wasn't terribly overgrown. And look what I found right here, a great big pile of rocks. And then right behind me, there's another great big pile of rocks right there. So, and then the trail's over that way. So yeah, I'll take a look at these. I marked them with a waypoint. I'll compare these to the old maps and see where these are positioned relative to the old roads. But just looking at my GPS right now, it looks like these are pretty much alongside where the old road came up from that direction back there. Man, something went to town on that tree. Look at all that. Look at all those wood chips. Tore that thing up. Woodpeckers, maybe. Could have been a bear that ripped it to shreds, too. Man. All right, onward and downwards. .6 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2,400 feet now. And the Appalachian Trail's been running along parallel to, and in a couple of cases crisscrossing this old road. That's the old road right there. I'm standing in it. The AT is coincident with it here. That's heading back down towards my car. And up that way, you can see it heading on up the side of the mountain there. Eventually, the AT veers off, though, to the left. But for now, we're walking in the old road back to my car. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Swift Run Gap 1997, and I hiked a stretch of the Appalachian Trail and also looked for a couple of abandoned fire road sections. This red line is Skyline Drive coming down from the north, and mile marker 73 is right about here, and just a little beyond that you make a right-hand turn onto a little side road and you park right here. There's a little bit of a parking lot there. And the Appalachian Trail comes through here, and this green is the Appalachian Trail. Excuse me. So you park here and then cross Skyline Drive, and you'll see the Appalachian Trail trailhead. And then also, let me point out, this right here is an old road that went up to this saddle area here outside of the park. So from here to here, this is the Appalachian Trail, but you're walking in the ditch of the old road. When you get to this point C here, the old road continues on up the mountain up here to the saddle, but the AT starts switching back. It's because the mountain's getting steep here. It switches back here, and then it switches back again here. Now when I got up here to point H, I veered off to the left and started bushwhacking. This is not a road or a trail. It's just the route that I took up here to point G. The old map, Elkton map from 1937, showed Homestead here. I'll show you that map in here in a minute. Looked around here, didn't really find anything except for I did find some rock piles. And it looked like an area that would make sense to put a house there. Came back, picked up the AT, continued climbing the mountain. Now you'll notice when you get to here, this red line here is the park boundary. So the AT comes real close to the edge of the park boundary. When I got up into this area here, I started seeing houses down here. Okay, continued on up. This is the summit here, point B, and then continued beyond to here, D, and then looked for and found a trail that also came down here to this saddle area. Used to be an old road, I think. So I followed this down until I got real close to somebody's house, and I decided I had to be close to the park boundary there. So turned around and came back up to the summit. Just on the north side of the AT here, I set up my hammock and had some lunch, and then back down to my car like that. Now let me show you the old map of that same area. This is Elkton 1937. this is the gap right here. Okay, this is the old road that I was telling you about that comes up to the saddle. Here's the saddle area. And the AT, it follows these contours around like this. And when you get up here to this area, if you see that little black square right there, that's a homestead right there. So that's the one that I was looking for. Okay, so back to the modern day map. Okay, I did these stats aren't correct. I'll have to get them off my GPS. I didn't write them down on here. It ended up being around 4 miles and 800 or 900 feet of ascent. It would have been more if I had followed this old road up here to the saddle and back. It would have been more ascent and more distance, but I decided not to do that because this bushwhacking here was pretty rough with thorny bushes and such. And that was the hike for today.